Brownie, kennel. Good girl. No. Good. No. Okay. Good girl. So with Brownie, I do normally feed her in her kennel, just because we have multiple dogs. So just for safety reasons, I always like to feed in the kennels. Especially until I've gotten to know the dog more and, you know, I'm comfortable with where the dog's at and where the dogs are with my own dogs. Once I've had the dogs for a little while, that's when I will either leave the door open or let them eat out of the kennel, but mostly for safety reasons I feed in the kennels. But once I've gotten to know the dog and I feel comfortable with the dog, that the dog doesn't have any kind of resource guarding, I will let them eat out of the kennel. But for the first little bit, I always do recommend that people, Diesel, back this way. I do always recommend at first that people do feed in the kennels until, you know, the dogs have time to adjust, and particularly if there are the dogs in the home, that the dogs are comfortable with each other before I start letting them eat together. So I wanted to show a couple ways of holding a stay with some heavier distractions for Brownie, because stay is probably her hardest command right now, just because she likes to be in on everything that's happening. So her staying with distractions is the most challenging for her right now. So I wanted to just kind of show a couple little ways of practicing stay. It'll be a little harder for her right now just because she wants to play. We haven't played this evening yet, so I'll probably use play as a reward for her after she's done a little bit of training. So I'll use my dog right now as a distraction. Diesel, here. Good. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. So the main thing is I'm going to reward pretty heavily right now. Good. Diesel, no. Good. Out. Back. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Good girl. So she corrected herself right there, so that's an automatic reward. Whoop. Good girl. Yeah. Diesel, here. Good. Good boy. Brownie, stay. Nope. So right there, I knew that was going to be a harder one. Brownie, come. Good girl. Come. Yes. Good. Here. So I knew that was going to be a harder one for her, so that's why I told her stay beforehand. Good girl, stay. Diesel, kitty. Yes. What a good girl. And so I did tell her no, but the main thing is I didn't get upset about it. I just brought her back, had her drop the toy. Stay. Diesel, kitty. Yes. What a good girl. And so now I just start reinforcing the behavior that I do want. Diesel, out. Good boy. Get it. Yes, Brownie. So now she's offering to stay because she knows she's going to get something else instead. All right, Diesel, down. Brownie, get it. Good. And as a reward for staying when I asked, she gets to now get the toy. Brownie, come. Good girl. Yes, you didn't bring the toy. Get it. Atta girl, come. Good girl. Bring it here. Good. Yeah. So drop it can be a little harder for her, so that's where I like to switch and offer her a treat so that she starts associating good boy. Giving up the toy with something really positive, and so it becomes an easy thing for her to do versus always wanting to fight me over dropping the toy. Good girl, come. Ready? Good. No, out, down, good boy. So another thing is if we're depending upon situation, everything you can use what I call a tie back. So this is just a nice bungee leash. So place bed I like just because it helps kind of create a physical barrier for them. So it helps, at least for her especially, it helps her understand that I really want her to stay here. But if I don't have a place bed on hand, I can good. Stay. No. Good. So I might not always have a place bed on hand, so that's where I can use a leash as a tie back. Good girl. He's get. Whoops, Brownie. Whoops. Sorry, baby. I didn't set you up for that one. Good job. Good girl. Brownie, stay. Get it. Yes, what a good girl. So that was kind of my fault. I didn't set her up the best there. So yeah, typically I like to kind of have them feel the end of it first so that they don't sling themselves. Come. Good girl, yes. Kind of let them feel that. Good girl. Sit. Yes. Stay. Giddy. Yes. What a good girl. What a good girl. Good job, baby. Good. Yes. Down. Good. Giddy. Yes. So especially right now, just because this is hard for her, I'm really, really heavily focusing on rewarding the behaviors that I want her to continue. So now, if I want to, I can actually take the leash off. Good girl, stay. Diesel, eat it. Yes, good job. What a good girl. Yes, good. Diesel, come. Brownie, good girl. Yes. Good. So she thought I was asking her there, but I wasn't, so yes, what a good job. What a good job. All right, Brownie, breathe. Yes, good girl. Good girl. Get it. Yeah, there you go. So I wanted to explain a little bit about the marker words and some of the commands that I use with Brownie. So the marker words that I use are yes, good, and no. Let's go. Good girl. Good job. So obviously no means Brownie, let's go. Good girl. Obviously no means, you know, I don't like what you're doing, stop. Good means you've done a good job, or I like what you're doing, keep doing it. So especially like if I'm practicing a stay, I'll use good sometimes to let her know that yes, keep doing this. We're not done yet, but keep doing what you're doing. And then yes means you've completed what I've asked you to do, and now the reward is coming. And a reward can be a treat, could be a toy, could just be free time. Especially like on a walk, if I'm practicing a heel on a walk, sometimes the best reward for that is just letting them go sniff and have some free time. Good girl. Good girl. Let's go. So one big thing when I'm working with them is follow through 4 commands. Brownie, come. Good girl, yes. So right now she immediately came, so that's an automatic reward. So especially when I'm working with a come and say the dog's distracted, or let's go girl. You know, they're sniffing something and distracted and not coming when I first call. So sometimes I will give them just a second, you know, depending upon the situation, I'll give them a second, repeat the command, or, you know, depending if you know, if I'm not sure if they heard me or not, I will sometimes give them that second chance, but after that, that's an automatic. I will start immediately walking towards the dog. A lot of times, the closer you get, you can catch their attention, and if I catch their attention, I'll repeat the command, come, and if they still do not, then I will go up to the dog, get the dog's collar, bring them back to where I want to. I will not correct them or anything, and just practice in a little bit more of a controlled area. I might even put them back on a leash if we're off leash. The other thing is too, you never want to ever correct a dog if it does come back to you. So say I say come, she doesn't come, and I'm walking towards her, and then she does come. I never ever want to correct that, because yes, it took her a little bit to do what I asked her, but she did end up doing what I wanted her to do. So I will always reward that, because I always want her to know coming back to me is a good thing. I never ever want to make that in any ways negative. So even if it took her a bit longer to come back to me, I'll still reward it, and then I'll put her back on a leash and practice it in a little bit more controlled way. So I'll go back, say if it was a scent that she was really interested in, didn't want to leave, I'll walk back to that area, let her get sniffing, say come. If she doesn't come, I'll use the leash to guide her back to me, and then reward. And I'll just keep repeating that until we're successful with it. Ready? Brownie, come. Good girl. No. Good. So Brownie is one. She does tend to jump when she's really excited. Come. Ready? No. Good girl. Back. Good. The main thing with a dog that jumps, yes, good girl, is you always want to move into them. Don't ever move away from them. So the one thing, if she jumps on me, I'm automatically just going to step into her and use my body to kind of just push her backwards. And when she's nice and calm, that's when she gets what she wants, which is the toy. Break. Woo! Good girl. Come. So there, she chose not to, so I'm going to move closer. Brownie, come. No. Good girl. Good. Brownie, come. Yes. So there, she didn't make some of the correct choices right there. No. Drop it. Yes. Good girl. What a good job. So that's where we use the marker words. So as soon as, let's go. As she started, easy. Good. Yes. So there, she wanted to jump, but she didn't jump on me. So that's a good decision on her part. So that's what I really want to focus on, rewarding the behaviors that I want her to continue. So I will use some correction, but I really want to focus on building the patterns that I really want her to continue doing. So when she chose to not come to me and to run the opposite direction, that's where I use no to kind of stop her. And then as soon as she started moving towards me, I immediately start praising her because she's now making the correct choices. Good girl. Ready? Go get it. Come. Good girl. Yes. So this time she was a lot happier because she knows she's going to be getting the reward. Good girl. But also that I'll hold her accountable too, that if she runs away from me, she knows I'm going to follow through and ask her to complete what I've originally asked her to do. What a good girl. Yes. What a good job. So when I'm out on walks, I like to just take a few minutes and just practice randomly some of the obedience commands that she knows, so that she gets used to using her commands in new places, different situations that might come up. So Brownie, stay. Diesel, let's go. Good girl. Brownie, come. Good girl. Yes. Sit. Good. Yes. Come is the one that I always want to reward. Come. That's one of my most valuable commands. Good girl. Stay. Brownie, good girl. Down. Yes. And one thing I like owners to remember is when I gave her the command, she at first was looking away from me. So I said her name to get her focused on me and then gave her the command. I don't want to try to give her the command when she's looking away from me because her focus is not on me. So I'm kind of setting her up to fail if I would ask her to do the command when her attention's not on me. So that's when, if they're distracted, that's when I will say their name typically to get their focus back on me and then give the command that I want. Or I might use come, one or the other, depending upon where the dog's at. Those are both commands that will help get the dog's focus on me, and then I will give them the command that I want to. Good girl, come. Good. Yes. So I'm always looking to see how I can best set them up for success, because that's the best way for them to be able to learn. Good girl. So right now, Brownie's getting a little bit excited about something. I think she caught some scents. So she's wanting to pull. So when I have a dog that's starting to pull like this, I'll just keep my pressure steady. Good girl. Brownie, come. Brownie, no. Come. Yes, good girl. And as soon as they give to that pressure, no. So there she wanted to walk away. Again, just holding tension. I'm not looking to force her to do this. I'm looking for her to make the decision. So I'm adding some pressure, saying, nope, that's not the correct decision. So right now I really want her to come back to me. So I'm just holding tension on the leash. Brownie, come. Good, and using the command she knows to help her out. No. Good girl, come. Good, yes. The main thing is when you're wanting your dog to disengage from something, no, come. Good, is to stay consistent. Nope, good. So there was a scent that got her excited, so we're just asking her now to just take a moment to kind of calm down. Good. Good, yes, let's go. Good girl. So I want her to understand when you feel tension on that leash to follow it. Yes, good girl. Let's go, Brownie. Good girl. Yes. So I wanted to explain a little bit how I get Brownie off of a scent. Good girl. Let's go. So she came off pretty easily there, but if she does get stuck on a scent, I will use the commands that she knows. So I'll either use let's go to just ask her to keep walking. Good girl. Or I will say leave it. And I will keep tension on the leash until she gives to that tension. And then immediately mark with a yes and reward. If it's a scent that she's really stuck on, I'll either grab hold of her collar, like say it's something I really don't want her to be getting into, I'll grab hold of her collar or use a treat to lure her away if it's really something I don't want her getting into. But if it's just a scent and I want her to just keep moving along, I will use tension on the leash until she gives to that tension and then immediately mark and reward. Brownie. Yes, good girl. No. There she wanted to walk off a little bit. Good. Let's go. I just kind of like to have her wait a second until I kind of say that I'm ready and ask her to keep going. Because different times I might be busy doing something and I don't want her just walking right off. So I like to have her wait just a few seconds for permission and then we keep going. Good girl.